So I've completed all of the meal prepping, and for the month of May, our grocery bill was $190 because we buy when it's on sale, we buy in bulk at the store, and then I prep it and freeze it. So what will you do when the grocery shelves are empty? What will you do when you can't afford groceries? I would recommend you prep. So let me show you what we did. For those of you who have followed along with me in the past, today is food prep day. So I'm prepping some food to get into the freezer. It's been about 4 months since I've done any prepping because my freezer's been full. So today's the day, and it's usually a few hours to get this done. So I pre-cut before I turn my camera on. And if this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Jeffrey Brett. My gay life, no apologies. I food prep because it helps us save money. So let me explain all that. So I've gotten some strawberries. They were on sale for 99 cents a container, 16 ounce. I bought 2 ounces or 2 containers and pre-cut them. So we'll get these frozen into the freezer for individual servings. When I say individual servings, it's for 2 people, Kevin and I. The tomatoes were red vine tomatoes, and they were on sale for 89 cents a pound. So I got 2 pounds of those. They're cut up and ready to freeze for individual packages for cooking. And I did the same with some onions. The next thing is to get the meats prepped and cut up and into individual servings. Now, the T-bone were on sale, and this I found amazing. Over the last 5 years, meat prices have went up 50%. So right now, these were $15 a pound, and they had them on sale for $7.99 a pound. So we bought 3 T-bones, and 1 T-bone is big enough for Kevin and I both. We just cut it, and one of us, we eat 1 T-bone for the 2 of us. So we have actually 3 meals here for, let's see, what did we pay? We paid $30, so 10 bucks a T-bone, if you will. And the hamburger was on sale for $1.99 a pound, so I got, how many pounds do I have here? I have almost 5 pounds, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that individual servings, and the same with chicken breast on sale for $1.99 a pound, so I'm gonna get those cut up. And I have over here on the stove, where I've already pre-cut some potatoes and some carrots. And the potatoes were on sale for 99 cents for a 5-pound bag. So I got 3 pounds, so 15 pounds of it cut up and frozen. And I pre-cook them, cut them into chunks, therefore I can cook them any way I want. Some of them I'll go ahead and pre-mash, get them mashed up and frozen. And then here's carrots. So I have all my vegetables that I cook with and eat frozen, pre-packaged and in the freezer. So let's get started with some of the meats. So on the meats, chicken, that's a messy one. Let's do that last. So let's do the T-bone first. And what I'm gonna do with these is, as you can see, these are nice size. Kevin and I can share that for dinner. And that's exactly what we'll do. So I will cut that off the bone and get it packaged. And I cut it off the bone because it's easy to get into the package and freeze it. For a serving, therefore I don't have to contend with that bone. So let me get that cut off. And I'm gonna do it on all 3 of them. Therefore, we've got it all cut and ready for cooking. See how nice that is? So that'll be enough for Kevin and I to share for dinner. Cut this in half. And there we go. 2 servings for Kevin and I. So we're gonna do that with all 3 of them. The next thing to get cut up for individual servings is the chicken. And I cube these as well. Good sized chicken breast, and one breast is enough for Kevin and I for dinner. Now what I do is I go ahead and cube these in advance, or cut them up in advance, and then freeze them in a bag. Great knife. Let's see if that works. That works good. Let's do that. And then I cut them to where they're like bite size. I make a lot of vegetable dishes, like a skillet dish with vegetables, sauteed, and I add to it either chicken pre-cut like this, or sometimes I will do pork, and sometimes I'll do even ground beef. It makes for a nice little skillet dinner, and that's what I cook quite often for Kevin and I. We eat mostly vegetables. As you can see, that's one person or two people serving off of one chicken breast. And this pack has 5. So again, we have 10 meals out of this pack of chicken breast, which cost me $7.80. So prepping will save you money and save you time in the long run. And I know there are folks who still work, and they're picking up fast food on the way home or ordering Uber Eats. I'm not discouraging you from doing that. I'm just encouraging you to save money. Prepping does take time. We all have a day off during the week. You have children, perhaps. Learn how to maneuver the kitchen, cook in a kitchen, and learn things. Survival skills as they get older and become young adults. So they can learn how to do this, and you can teach them. They can do the cutting and the prepping, or you can do it yourself. And by prepping, you're just going to save each night when it comes to cook dinner or lunchtime. You're going to save time and money. And that's really the important part, the money. Because we know that so many Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and it's only going to get worse. Prices are going to increase, and we don't need to get into that conversation. That's going to happen. So you might as well be prepared. Chicken breast cut up. Once I get everything prepped and ready to go, then I start the bagging process. But of course, you've got to first have everything ready to go. And that's really what takes the time. And if I told you I enjoyed doing this, I'd be telling you a lie. I don't particularly enjoy doing this, but I do enjoy the fact that we save money on eating expenses and time. And those are the two things you can never get back. The money you spend and the time you spend. So, you might as well spend both of them wisely. So when it comes to sealing them, I pre-cut my bags. I first put the bag in my sealer I have here and seal up one end. And I'm only going to put a handful of this chicken that I've cut up in the bag. And that'll be enough for 2 people, for Kevin and I. And I had 5 breasts that I had cut. And it looks as if we're going to have 5 bags. So I'll get the chicken in the bag, and then we're going to seal it. So then, and if you don't have a sealer at home, you can use baggies. So I'm just going to put it in the vacuum seal. I'm going to hit my vacuum, and it's going to suck the air out. Then it will seal it up. And when it's all done, you end up with a sealed bag of chicken for dinner, or your steak, or ground beef, whatever it is you're sealing. It turns off automatically. Take it out and have it sealed up, ready for a serving for 2 people for dinner. So I have finished prepping all the meats. My ground beef, nice and sealed up. That's enough for 2 people for a serving or more for a dinner. And the chicken is done the same way. Just enough bagged in there for 2 people. I did the same thing with the steaks. And now we're gonna move on to the vegetables. Now I've done all the prepping in regards to cutting and getting them ready to go. The only thing left to do is the corn. I like corn on the cob, and again, we buy it only when it's in season and on sale. If it's not in season and on sale, we don't eat it. It's just become that simple. So we're gonna get those cut up off the cob because it's difficult to eat corn on the cob if you have a nice set of veneers, which I do. So I'm gonna get them off the cob. The first thing I need to do is get them in a pot of water because I pre-cook the vegetables also, which makes it easier when it comes time to make dinner because everything's already pre-cooked, so the cooking time is reduced and preparation time is reduced. So let's get the corn off the cob. And they had corn on sale. They had 5 ears per $1. So I bought 5 ears. All right, we're gonna get those in a pan of water and I'm gonna pre-cook those, boiling them only for about 5 minutes in the water. Then I'll cut them off the kernel and we'll get them bagged as well into individual servings for 2 people. I'll call it a family serving. With my mess picked up, water now in the pan, let me go get these on the stove. Okay, so we'll let those cook for about 5 minutes once the water starts to boil. In the meantime, I have got about 10 pounds of potatoes here that I need to get bagged. So let's get started on that. So the first thing I do, of course, with all of them is I have to cut the bags. I buy these bags online for the vacuum seal. And again, if you don't have a vacuum seal, you can use regular baggies. Just squeeze the air out as much as you can to freeze your vegetables and your meats. So I do cut my bags first, then I get them sealed at the bottom and make family size servings for each dinner into the bags so that I can place them in the freezer. So let me continue to cut bags. So I've got a few bags cut and I put them on the sealer to first, the vacuum sealer to seal them. I just hit my vacuum, cancel, I hit seal only, which seals up one side of the bag. Just takes a second for that to happen. And now I'm ready to put in my potatoes. Now this has got some different settings on the top. You can use it for dry foods, moist foods, or delicate. I will use it on moist for the potatoes. So what it does is it pulls out any excess moisture that is sitting in the potato, which is fine because I'm going to vacuum seal these so that they stay as fresh as the day I cooked them and sealed them. So again, I put in just enough for a 1 dinner serving for Kevin and I, because I normally do, as I stated, a medley of vegetables, and sometimes I put a meat in with it when I make dinner. So I've got just serving size dinner for 2 people, and now we're going to vacuum it out the air, and it will vacuum the air out and then it will seal. So that's what I'll do with all the potatoes. Still vacuuming out the air. And the moisture. And now it's going to seal it. I'm really glad I bought one of these. I did some food prepping for a while with just baggies, but as you know, baggies over time, if you don't use the food up quite regularly, you're going to get freezer burn. So it shuts itself off when it's sealed, and there we go. So now I have a family-sized bag of potatoes for Kevin and I for dinner. So let me continue on with the potatoes. So I'm done prepping the potatoes, and out of that 10-pound bag, I was able to get 14 bags processed for individual servings for us family. That's 2. So now I'm going to move on to the tomatoes. Let's go. So the corn is done boiling. I drained it off the water. It's cooled off, and now I'm going to just cut it off the cob and then get those bagged as well. After I did the tomatoes, I then got the strawberries bagged up and then continued on with the carrots. And so everything was bagged up and put in the freezer, and the corn was my last task. So that's just what I'm doing here, is taking the corn off the cob. And as I was doing the corn, Kevin showed up in the kitchen without a shirt on, right, so I just blocked it out a little bit because he would be angry if I'd left him shirtless on film. So let's continue the.
Question, is this mine? Getting there?
Getting there. This is the last bag. All done.
What's in that bag?
Corn. This is all corn.
Okay.
Put that one didn't sell away. You sell it. So I've completed all of the meal prepping, and for the month of May, our grocery bill was $190. Because we buy when it's on sale, we buy in bulk at the store, and then I prep it and freeze it. So what will you do when the grocery shelves are empty? What will you do if you can't afford groceries? I would recommend you prep. So let me show you what we did for the day. and I rotate. So we have all of our meats down here, and I put the meat that I had frozen prior on top, which was almost gone, and the new meat on the bottom. All the vegetables I prepped today are here, and we did some fruit, and then I have shrimp and cheeses that we've already had. So that's the prepping for the month. Moving into June, and we shouldn't need anything at the store for another month. So I invite you to prep. Thanks for coming along. I hope you enjoy my video. If you would like, I would enjoy it very much if you would subscribe. And until next time, take care of yourself. We'll see you again.